When I was 2, my mom went back to work, and I got to spend my days with my babysitter and my best friend Debbie. Apparently, I talked all the time with Debbie, but was shy with her parents. I never said anything unless they were making plans for the day. And then, once the plan was decided on, I asked, "Me too?" This happened often enough that they began calling me Lynn too. Later, they explained the name away by saying that I was 2 when I started coming, but I knew that nickname had started when I kept saying, "Me too?" I hated the socializing period after church each Sunday. My dad and mom took turns, he being bishop and she being Relief Society president, and they always spent a long time after church socializing, while I sat in the car hoping that no one would stop and chat with me. Because I had a large family, I didn't feel the need for a lot of friends. I remember one day a little girl from my neighborhood came over and invited me to come to play at her house. I refused. My family was all that I needed. Somewhere along the line, though, I realized that the popular kids were the kids who were not afraid to talk to people. It wasn't that I needed to be popular, I just didn't want to feel left out. When I was in the 1st grade, Debbie was in my class. Then after that, they separated us because we would talk. We sought each other out on the playground and built on each other's ideas for activities. Other kids joined in, and she always invited me to her parties. Then the worst possible thing happened. Debbie went to one junior high school, and I went to another. Most of the kids who went to Magnolia Elementary moved up to Central Junior High School. There were only 10 of us that year who lived within the Sierra Junior High School boundaries. We didn't form our own group, but rather just made friends where we could. The lunch area at school was really crowded and noisy. I had a hard time understanding what people were saying. Finally, I gave up and stopped bringing my lunch to school and started spending my lunch time in the library. It was in the 5th grade that I had learned that I was not hearing the high tones, and because of that, in a normal situation, I was missing out on a lot of what people were saying. But in a crowded, noisy place, for me, understanding what people were saying was impossible. 2 things changed me, or at least changed me trying to hide and start making friends. The first was the popularity that I had received when I moved to Walnut Creek, California, for 6 months. And the next was when, during prayer, Heavenly Father told me that I needed to get on the ball or I would miss out on the blessings that He had prepared for me. I made a goal at the beginning of high school to make a new friend each day. This was harder than it may seem. I ate lunch with one group, but then when I tried to reach out and make other friends, the first group shut me out. It was a very cliquish high school. Between my natural shyness and my hearing loss, being with people was always exhausting. But I couldn't give up. I knew that somewhere there was a young man out there who would be looking for a girl who was socially competent. Besides, how can you share the gospel if you're afraid to talk to people?